Hey everybody, how's it going? We're back. Dan and Terry here. I'm Terry. This is Dan. This is our third video now of this video collab series where we're sharing different copywriting tips, freelance success tips, how to be a better writer, how to be a better freelancer for whatever service that you have. But today we're really going to be focusing on copywriting, and we wanted to talk about the top podcasts and books that will help you become a better copywriter. And since this is 2019, we're in the digital age here, Dan, let's start with podcast. Since they're everywhere, everybody has one, that's the cliche. But let's talk about a few of our favorite podcasts when it comes to helping you become a better writer. So what's on your list there, bud?
Yeah, sounds good, Terry. So for me, the first podcast that really stands out is High Income Business Writing with Ed Gandia. And that's probably my favorite one because, it's not just about writing and copywriting. He talks about business strategies and just other things that you need to know as a freelancer or a business owner. I think a lot of writers and freelancers are awesome at their craft, but they often like neglect the business owner side and learning the skills they need to be successful in that avenue. So definitely check that out. Yeah, that's my recommendation.
What a glowing review from Dan Marzullo. No, man, you bring up such a good point, and like it is. I mean, it's one thing to become a great writer and copywriter to help your clients, but at the end of the day, you're a business owner too. So how can you grow? How can you monetize your business? That's key too, and that's kind of where a lot of my podcast for suggestions come in as well. One is the Ray Edwards Show. A lot of copywriters may be familiar with Ray Edwards. He's a very successful copywriter and marketer. He has a lot of different copywriting courses, some for free, some a little high-paying, different events that he does. But he's kind of similar. He brings on different guests, different marketers and entrepreneurs. He breaks down simple, tips and techniques for copywriters. Just a very insightful, intelligent, and obviously successful. So a lot of his wisdom you can definitely believe. And then another one is the Brand You podcast with Mike Kim, who's another copywriter, and he's even worked with Ray Edwards too. But he goes into tips about how to grow your brand with your message, how to write effective landing pages for a lot of copywriters or even freelancers, people starting out. Either of those two podcasts are a great way to start. Those are a couple of our podcasts. So let's go to a few of our favorite books. You guys can download them, audiobooks. If you guys want something tangible, you can do that too. But Dan, what books are on your list?
Yeah, so I'd say the first one I got right here, this book will teach you how to write better, if you guys can see that. Neville Medora, and he is killer copywriter. If you haven't heard of him, I would say study everything he's ever written because it's awesome. And he's got some great free resources on his website too to, just kind of hone in your craft. Other than that, I just kind of have the Copywriter's Handbook by Robert Bly. I think that's a good foundation to have in your arsenal, and those will kind of help you just be a better writer and think more like a creative copywriter.
Yeah. That first one you mentioned is a little unique because it's a little bit shorter, right? It's a quick read.
Yeah, it's literally 20 pages. So it's to the point, all the, important tactics that you need to know, and then that's it. So you can read the thing in under an hour. I mean, you can knock it out and get some good takeaways from it.
Yeah, which is a great tip for how to write effective copy. Be clear and to the point. You don't have to, overcomplicate things for sure. Great suggestions there. Have not read either of them, but I've heard a lot about them, so I'm definitely gonna, mark those on my list to read next. A couple books for me here, Dan, and all the listeners out there. First one is Writing That Works by Kenneth Roman. Talks about techniques about word choices to go from active to instead of passive voice. Breaks down a lot of different popular brands and slogans about why they work. The word choicing that he does, it's just really effective. I know you'll learn a lot if you check that book out. And then a couple other books that really have not necessarily geared towards copywriting, but more towards marketing and understanding why consumers buy. So those two books, the first one is Brainfluence by Roger Dooley, and it's 100 ways to persuade and convince consumers. And it's just super interesting, and he talks a lot about different brand stories and talking about human psychology and what motivates consumers to buy things, which I think is key when you're a copywriter, because you want to get into the head of your target audience and use specific words that may trigger specific emotions and feelings that ultimately get them to take action, to buy and be a part of, be a long-paying customer. And the other one is Biology by Martin Lindstrom, which is very similar to that. And this one goes into a lot more about, Ford and, General Motors and Coke and a lot of big brands about what they did differently with their ad campaigns and how they were able to grow their business through, marketing. And a lot of it is about the word choices that they use too, which is really interesting.
Sounds good, Terry. I think we got some good resources there for people to check out.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we'll end it on more or less this note here, Dan, is that, you can consume all the content you want, but if you don't use it in your everyday business and in your writing, it's almost worth nothing. Like, you have to take action at the end of the day and use it and see the results that you can get.
Right. Yeah. There's no better way to become a better writer than to write. So just do it.
Exactly. Like everything, you want to become good at something, the more you got to do it. So definitely. So hopefully you guys will check out everything on that list today. And of course, in the comments after we post the video and everything, send us some suggestions for us as well. What books, what podcasts are you listening to that have helped you become a better writer or business person?
Yeah, I would love to hear
business person. Who says that? Freelancer, business owner, what have you?
Yeah, whatever you are out there.
Yeah.
Let's hear from some other copywriters out there with some creative titles they can throw our way. That'd be awesome. And drop your other resources in the comments. Would love to check out what you guys are reading and listening to as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will see you guys next week, and enjoy the rest of your week. Happy writing, happy living. Keep doing what you're doing, loving what you do, and we'll see you guys soon.